What is happening, ladies and gents? Slaymate here, taking a look at Torment, Tides of Numenera. God, look at those squiggle lines. It reminds me of those little fun electricity globes that you'd play with in the mall. I mean, maybe you bought one. I didn't buy one, but they were cool, and you'd like put your fingers on them, and the little electricity things would go to your fingertips. They were so cool. And I always wanted one so that I could slap my dick on it. Never mind, we're not going to go there. All right. I'm sorry. Anyways, you know, it's a video game. Let's get started, and you'll see what kind of game it is. We're gonna choose our own adventure and die a whole bunch of horrible deaths. It's a RPG. Where you I mean, there's combat, but you can try to kind of talk your way out of most situations, or use your different perks to talk your way out of situations and not get into combat.
Darkness. Aching cold sets into an unfamiliar body. A distant howling surrounds you, louder with each passing second. Insistent and invisible hands slap and tear at the membrane that protects you.
Whoa.
Your first emotion is an involuntary and formless panic. You feel you have forgotten something important. As if it once meant the world to you. But the details slip away as you grasp at them. You force your eyes open.
All right, let's just look around.
A white-pink fleshy cocoon surrounds you. Even as you look, a minor rent in its side tears open, and the howling wind forces its way inside.
Oh.
The cocoon rips away, gone before you can grab it, spinning you into a dizzying tumble. You are falling, the world many kilometers beneath you. You catch a glimpse of a curved horizon, and also the ground beneath you that is approaching deceptively quickly. Above you, a small moon is slowly collapsing in upon itself. A corona of acid green and black energy playing around its edges. The wind buffets you and burns your eyes, but you don't need to see the details of the faraway ground to know you're in serious trouble. You won't survive a fall from this stratospheric height. A part of your frantic mind babbles that technically you probably fell from a thermospheric height.
Yeah, sure.
Focused as the ground rushes toward you.
Let's just dive towards the ground, you know?
You put your hands to your sides and you slice through the air. The wind tears at your face and scalp, and your skin burns under the tremendous speed. Your vision blurs, and you are unable to judge how far you've fallen.
Let's keep diving. The faster, the better.
A phrase whispers itself into your mind. Terminal velocity. You have reached the limit of the speed the air will grant you, and now that you enter the lower reaches of the atmosphere, you can feel it thickening around you, and miraculously you are slowing from the frenzied descent. Slow is a relative term. You knife through the air, piercing its veils, and you have no time for the poetry of falling. This realization drives itself home as you strike an unyielding surface. As your skin explodes and your organs liquefy on impact, a brief thought flashes through your mind. Your life was utterly and completely meaningless.
Rip. Most of your body is splattered across the ground. Your sole legacy to the world is a small crater near Sega's cliffs. Well, you know, we lost. Let's all right, let's make real choices and not be terrible. I did that just because, you know, because I knew I could.
Your first emotion.
All right, let's look around again.
Fleshy cocoon, so the cocoon rip. The wind buffets you.
We will flatten out to catch the wind.
Instinctively, you spread your arms and legs, and they respond sluggishly. You stop tumbling head over heels. Though you are still spinning laterally, that motion has calmed as well, and you have space to assess your situation, and perhaps to understand the predicament and the body in which you find yourself. Below you, you see a large landmass. A massive ocean dominates the rest of the visible globe, dotted here and there with island chains. Small moons, unusual structures, and strange machines rush past you in glittering profusion as you plummet toward the ground.
Let's Study the world.
Now you see that this appears to be a huge megacontinent, the only land of any size, on this side of the world at least. Great inland seas and lakes dot the land, and curiously, regular mountain ranges march up and down and across. You are falling toward what looks to be a great bay, a sprawling city perched on its shore just to the north. Further to the north and east, you see a broad plain scattered with curious structures, visible even from this height. The northeastern portion of this land looks to be a desert, a strange blue dot like an eye in its exact center. It seems to hold a city in its watery grasp. To its west is a ring of huge mountains surmounted by enormous...
I like the way they explain things.
...magma into a central catch basin. What concerns you most right now is the bay below you. It's coming at you quickly.
Whoa. Cool it, you dirty bay. Freaking coming on me. Let's see. Let's try to slow our descent even more.
It's fruitless. You've reached a velocity that could, without irony, best be named terminal.
Damn it.
You spread your arms and legs and try to catch a draft, and it looks like you'll hit the bay that's rushing toward you, unless you hit the building in its littered waters. A strange web of colors surrounds you, thrown by a figure standing on the balcony of the structure. But it is effective only at slowing your fall. You strike the building hard enough to crack its crystalline structure, and you hear one of the engines that supports it protest and howl, and the agony of the crash overcomes you. And then, darkness.
No. Or yes. Well, we didn't splat onto the ground. We splatted onto different ground. All right, let's interact with this bowl. Jumbled thoughts cloud your head as you study the empty bowl before you. Drops of liquid fall from the ceiling, splattering on the ground next to the bowl. The light from every drop is reflected in the bowl's rounded hollow, as if it hungers for that light and needs to be filled. Just like your never mind. Yet the bowl remains dry. Unlike your never mind. Another drop falls from the ceiling and splashes across the pylons. Wasted. So we've got this option that uses might, which is this one. This is like dexterity, and this is like magic, I'm guessing. Let's examine the bowl. You trace your fingers over the slippery overlapping scales that spiral up from the bottom of the bowl. The sharp-toothed rim plucks at your skin. It's going to be tricky to move this bowl without slicing your fingers on the edge. You might have to put some effort into it. Reflecting light streaks across the surface of the bowl as another droplet falls from the ceiling. You examine the bowl again. The slick, overlapping scales have sharp, hungry edges that nip at your flesh. Each shining drop of light from the unseen ceiling seems to linger in the bowl's polished depths. Let's carefully move the bowl beneath the liquid. Okay, so we've encountered our first task. You have 3 stat pools: might, speed, intellect. You can spend the points to increase your chances of success. This is called using effort. To more easily move the bowl in front of you, use the to spend might for a higher level of effort. Don't worry if you fail this task in Torment. Failure often results in interesting outcomes. So here it's a 60%. If we spend another point, it's 80. If we spend 2 points, we get a 100% chance. Let's just do 100%. Booyah. Of course we got it, because it's 100%. You carefully take hold of the bowl, avoiding the teeth on the serrated rim. With a deep breath, you move it over the glowing pool of fallen light. Ooh, now it's catching the pool. Drop by drop, the bowl fills, ripples spreading over the blurred outline of your reflection. A pale blue luminescence sketches into the corners of the room. A clear radiance spills across the segmented floor, washing away the nearest shadows and pouring into your mind, melting the ragged edges of your fragmented thoughts. You are not whole, not yet. You have begun to heal from the damage done in your long fall. A voice calls out from somewhere high above, beyond the reaches of the spreading light.
Hello, are you still alive down there? We're up here. Build a path to us. Be careful.
Let's look at this bowl. The rippling surface of the bowl shines with its own light. So overturn the bowl. When you touch it, you feel a strange tightness in your head, and soon discover that the bowl is far too heavy to move now. Even the attempt makes your arms ache and temples throb. Let's try overturning the bowl again. The bowl is just as heavy as before, if not more so. You can't budge it. Alright. So we used 2 points of might in order to, do that thing. And now they're gone forever. Which means if we come into more might challenges, we won't have as many. So we gotta be careful how many we use, otherwise we just won't have any chances. As soon as you touch the orb, a memory floods your mind. You stand in front of a rusted door. The air is humid and dank. So dank. You've had a moment's respite from the water-logged hell. A bubble of stale air your resting point. You've breathed water before and you've lived decades beneath the waves. But this body's an air breather, and the constant pressure has been crushing you ever so subtly. Worse, your companion's mind seems to be wandering from the task at hand. He's a genius with machines, as you well know, but now he seems distracted. The device in his hands is covered in knobs, wires, and antennas. He believes it can get the two of you through the corroded door, but he's merely staring at it. Perhaps he's lost faith in his invention. That is hardly your concern. This mission cannot be delayed. It must proceed. Ooh. Could deceive him. We could threaten him, or we can be like, this is taking too long, cast a spell. An esoteric. To fix the device yourself. Let's do that. You mumble a few words, drawing power from the air around you, until a solution appears in your mind. You snatch the device from his hands, rewire it, and shove it back at him.
Oh,
He says, examining your work.
sorry, I was trying to improve the thing.
He waves the device at the door. The stale air of your bubble freshens as the door swings open. A dark hallway lies beyond, a passage that links to the water. Bordered cells and the aquatic viewing areas. What you seek lies there. Moments later, you're underwater again, your hands closing around you. A strange yet familiar artifact you need to complete. Something. It's hovering above a pedestal, rotating in the dark water. An electric current runs through your fingers as your hand crosses the vertical plane of the pedestal. And an iridescent field coalesces so fast that the waves of pressure dazes you for a moment. The rising pulse of a sonar alarm ripples through the water. The guards won't be far behind. Use a device to stop them. One of the ciphers on your belt. What's a cipher? You run urgent fingers over the devices fastened to your waist, a fog rising in your mind. A few can be used against the guards, but will also turn your skin to synth steel, or the surrounding water to boiling wax. Hardly ideal. Finally, you find a small silver sphere. Setting the sphere in place, you kick deliberately for the safety of the nearby alcove. The sphere whirls and unfolds into a spiraling vortex. The sphere at the center speaks a few polite words in the ancient language and begins draining the surrounding water into itself with alarming speed. The approaching guards shout, then scream as they too are sucked into the whirlwind and ripped to pieces. You allow yourself a fleeting smile, but are all too aware that more alarms are going off in the distance. Memory begins to fade as if you were being drawn backwards through a tunnel, and you hear more pylons rising from the pit. Something's wrong. The events within the orb have settled into that gap in your mind, but the edges of it are rough, just the way your mother likes it, as though the memory itself is not truly yours. Something else there. A gust of sour air pulling at you, like a predator inhaling the scent of its prey at the far end of a dark, whispering field. That was a memory and a half. And the landscape has changed. Let's examine this. The mirror looks strange, as though what you see in it is real. And you're the reflection. Holy smokes. The light around the door frame dims and flares like the roaring fire of the high wind. Alright, let's just go over here. Damn right, yes. Brow! You stand beside a woman on a verdant crag. Beneath the two of you is a broad plateau towering above the overgrowth far below. Strange machines are built into the cliffside, presumably for reconnaissance or defense. A metallic disc gleams from the center of the plateau. Your self-aware humanoid machines drill into the base of the cliff below. If you were looking for a sanctuary, and you were desperately, this seems like the right place.
I don't know about this, the woman says, her flat voice neutral.
Oh, her face is turned away from you.
What makes this place any more secure than the other ones we've found?
Draw your attention to the hidden details that your more experienced eye can clearly see. Use charm to persuade her from the merits of the site. Remind her of the time constraints. Convince her with the wisdom of your superior intellect. Oh, well, hell yeah. A slight chill enters the air as you describe the potential power of the metallic disc below and the sealed vaults beneath it. She nods.
So that's what your servitor machines are doing down there.
You've already chosen this as the site, haven't you? She waits for your affirmation and says,
All right, I'm convinced.
The two of you sketch your plans for the sanctuary, drawing schematics and architectural diagrams. Then you descend into the plateau and examine the open ground. The woman suggests having one of the servitors build a shelter for your time here. You try to draw one of the constructs away from its task, but it doesn't respond to your voice. When you lay a hand on its shoulder and reinforce your command, it whirls and strikes you across the face with inhuman speed. It turns back to its task, ignoring you. Your companion helps. You rise laughing, laughter in her eyes.
It seems your construct had other ideas. What's the matter with it?
You could overwhelm the behavior malfunction. You could examine it for mechanical faults. You could look for a deeper solution. Perhaps it's the effect of the metallic disc itself. Let's examine the construct for mechanical faults. Everything resolves into a sharp focus, and you see that the servitor's rear actuators are corrupted. You dig into the construct's back. Seems not to mind as long as you don't interfere with its task. Deftly, you reset the actuators and see energy spark into diffused portions of the construct's brain. The construct resumes its work, and this time, it listens when you speak. Acknowledged. It obediently trundles to the site of your new shelter. The image freezes and then fades, and you feel the memory filling the gap in your mind. Block by jagged block. You stagger, clutching your head, claiming the memories hurts. And once more, there's something else. Hair lift one by one on the back of your neck. Something beyond this room can sense what you're doing and is hunting you. Oh my god. Also, the landscape is changing. I need more skill checks. I'm picking good choices apparently because I'm not having skill checks. A vision of the city springs up around you. Your city, in flames and under attack. Her defenders have fought and died all day, and still the attackers keep coming, all over your face. Never mind. They fight as if your destruction were demanding of them. They care nothing for mercy, surrender, or plunder. What they want is blood. If you have brought a keen-eyed companion to the top of the tower, but you have brought, because you're cool like that. She has seen a way to stop the invaders. You need to get her to safety, and you need to rally your defenders. But even as you turn towards the door of the tower, two of the attackers descend from a hovering machine. You don't have time to strike at them before they land. One is brutishly large, his weapon a vibrating axe. The other is slim, sheathed in glassy armor, and holding a hilt with a sizzling, invisible blade. Your companion backs away. She's too young to help. Your enemies advance single file, confined by the parapet. You could trade blows with the giant, you could handle it, for at least a strike or two. You could duck under the giant's swing and attack before you can strike, or you can fight defensively and try to figure out who presents the greater threat. Let's go with defensively. The memory seems crystal clear. The giant is menacing, it's true, but the invisible blade of his companion is more worrisome still. The energy field that flickers and wavers around it suggests that she can carve matter at the molecular level, tearing pieces of her target into nothingness. If you're to save yourself, your best bet is to tackle her first. She's stuck behind the giant, waiting for her turn to attack you, unable to bring her weapon to bear till he's out of the way. But it's clear that she expects him to handle you, and her eyes rove behind you, her focus on your ward. She is certainly not expecting you to dive between the giant's legs and come up inside her guard. Oh. Guard is not where I expected that story to go. She can't bring her blade to bear in time, and you drive your dagger up under her chin. You catch her before her deadly blade drops into you and spin her around. The weapon slashes into the giant and he topples, bisected. The immediate threat ended, you focus on finding a way back to your allies. You open the tower door and rush down the stairs. The door at the base of the stairs is slightly cracked, opening just a bit into the hall, and you hear more of the enemy soldiers beyond. You could hurl yourself against the door, knock them to the ground, crack the door open and sneak past them, or charge through them, counting on your defenses to protect you. Let's crack the door open and sneak. You press yourself against the gleaming door, easing it open, and your breath catches in your throat as you squeak quietly. As it squeaks quietly, the sound like a bell in your memory. You pause, but the soldiers in the hall continue to talk. You push again, squeeze yourself through the narrow opening, and creep down the blood-stained hall. The memory begins to fade, and you find yourself back in your own body. You wonder why you're such a badass in these visions. She's like doing all kinds of badass stuff. Your temples throb with the racing force of your heartbeat, and the reclaimed memories blaze within you like a bonfire on a mountain's peak, visible to every predator for kilometers around. A tremor rocks the floor beneath you, as though a massive fist has struck the room itself. Swaying on your feet, you see a frantic movement within the borders of the mirror at the edge of the room. You move towards it.
Yes, now.
Yeah, right now. Oh my god. The borders of this mirror is lavishly decorated with a dizzying number of interlocked symbols, daggers, masks, paintbrushes, amulets, and more. But that's nothing compared to what you see in the glass. A huge, busty woman with nipples the size of giant pepperonis. I mean, you see a vast crowd of people just gangbang. Nope. Exact doppelgangers of you, shoving, arguing with, and fighting each other. Most are drab imitations of you, but a precious few are vivid and pull at your attention. Each of them bears an intricate pentagonal tattoo on their head. In their eyes, their actions, you see the memories you've discovered within the orbs, and the choices you've made shining like distant stars. Your hand twitches at your side, and though some of the bright doppelgangers ignore you, an even small number immediately turn to you, awaiting for you to choose them and learn what you might become. A rumble shakes the room, and slow vibrations spread from the darkness below, rippling towards the ceiling. Okay, let's point at... Let's point at the doppelganger with the clever eyes. The doppelganger makes its way over to you. It's about to speak when a thuggish figure charges out of the crowd and shakes his knife in the doppelganger's face. Speaking in your voice, the doppelganger raises a calming hand, appealing to the thug's better nature with a combination of disarming wit and outright lies. Scowling, the thug lowers his knife and apologizes to the doppelganger for the trouble. The doppelganger turns to you, waiting your decision. Yeah, that's who I am. The remaining doppelgangers scatter for the edges of the mirror and vanish. Your chosen identity steps forward. Its appearance changes as it steps out of the rippling glass. Its face exudes intelligence and confidence. Shadows of several devices shimmer all around it. Technology of several kinds. From a myriad of past ages. You get the feeling you, would be comfortable with all of it. The word nano the sounds in your mind, you gain the descriptor clever. Your doppelganger continues walking, stepping into you, filling you, pinning you down with strong arms, coming inside you and filling you with the spirit of the Nightman, making you whole. Your decision rings out the cavernous room, awakening and unlocking vast mechanisms behind the walls. Suddenly, a grotesque noise rings through your shattered worlds, like a bell if bells could rot. Something is coming inside of you. The mirror fades, leaving a dark open doorway. You take a deep breath and step through. You have a load screen. Character creation. All right, yeah, character creation. Shut the F up. Let's see. So we've got Glaive, which is like a melee damage fighter type thing. We've got some moves that, it's armor, might, all kinds of stuff. You can see the stuff that we get. We get more might, we get more speed, get more HPs. We get some skills of deception. Weird, we still have more intelligence than we have speed and might, even though, you know what I'm saying? Jack of all trades, kind of balanced, and a bunch of different things. Got this flex skill move, gives us +1 training levels, I guess. Choose one exploration, lore, or conversation skill. 4 points to distribute in any pool. Or we've got Nano, which mages, wizards, sorcerers, witches. More intelligence. Yeah, concentration. Bonded artifacts, no idea. Deception, hell yeah. Dude, we want to be able to talk our way out of so many situations. I can also deal damage with my mind. Yeah, we're going Nano. Stat pools, yep. So... I guess we just put it into intelligence. Probably not the right choice. There are probably so many different ways you can do this. Let's see. Let's go with surface thoughts of most people or creatures you speak with in conversations will show up, huh? Remove all negative effects and also heals me. That seems pretty good. Teleport to an ally. Gain 1 training level in Cipher. Allows you to carry additional ciphers. I don't know what ciphers are, though. Gain protected. More armor, more resilience. As a mage, having, like, weird armor is probably pretty good. I wonder if Scan Thoughts allows us to have different choices, though. Like, if we can see that they're thinking about, like, that they're lying to us, maybe? I'm not really sure. I mean, let's pick it and adaptation, get armor, and listen to their thoughts. Let's see. Boom. So we get a bonus if things are natural lore based. Oh. I want natural, I think. I want mystical. I'm not quite sure. The points. Not quite sure what the hell is going on, honestly. Yeah, no idea. Only glaives can do weapon skills. All right, fine, be that way. Let's change our descriptor, though. We've got... That's minus mystical and machinery. I like the intellect and all that bullshit. Let's see. We've got armors and etceteras. Concentration. Intimidation. Slick. Mystical. I mean, I like the ones that give the stats, but they got... I don't want to have minus persuasion, because that's... Yeah, that's a talking thing, and I want to be super cool at talking. Concentration. I don't know what is. Do I want intelligent, or do I want mystical? Let's go with intelligent. So it looks like there's a lot of ways to go in that character creation stuff. This is an RPG after all. I'm sure there's a way to super min-max what the hell you're doing. But in RPGs, I always fail my first character because I just don't know what I want for situations or how to play the game yet. So I'm always like, that looks cool. And then I get into the game and it's like, well, in order to do what I actually want to do, I have to totally respect my character. But what I want to do is talk my way out of most situations if possible. So I want as many like dialogue persuading choices. Holy smokes, dude. The specter. Everything about this spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome bearded face seems hauntingly familiar, though you've never seen him before. Breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you.
Oh, well, we weren't sure that would work. We pulled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you, to wake you up.
He glances to the other figures here and frowns unhappily.
It took more out of them than we thought. The other reflections, they're more like shadows now. Look, I bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body's still out there in the real world, healing from that fall. You need to get out of here and finish the process.
He shrugs.
It shouldn't be too hard.
Who are you?
He
pauses and looks down at himself, considering a long time before answering.
I'm you. I'm a part of your mind, a splinter. I was waiting here for you. We called you with memories of the others who are here. I don't know what happened next.
Before I met you, I felt like something was hunting me. Do you know what it was? He closes his eyes.
Oh, that's a memory I don't want to recall. Large, black penis, furious. It's our death. It's the sorrow.
He closes his eyes.
I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for.
How do you know all this? All that you're telling me? He throws up his hands in frustration.
I'm just a part of you. I look at you and I know. This place was made for you, for us. And I remember pieces of knowledge that come to me when you ask your questions. But that's all.
Who are these other people? You said you called them reflections.
Oh, that's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you know and knew. People you met in the real world and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why, it just happens.
You said finish the process? What do you mean by that?
Well, after you wake up from this dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called a resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that and everything will be fine.
What's a resonance chamber?
I remember pieces about it. but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it and the metal rings set in the floor. I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby.
Well, what do you mean, attuned to the tides?
Tides are like a force, like gravity or magnetism or something, except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is, your body in the real world needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune as it wakes up.
If this places my mind, why don't I remember any of this, any of you?
It's your mind. A construct built to, I don't know, share thoughts, store your true self. Wait, you know how people say you're in the first place. This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me anyways. You'll probably know better since it's yours. If you don't remember, maybe it'll come to you later.
So how do I get back to the real world?
Well, there's a portal down there. It'll take you back to your body. Just step through it, and the whole tides thing will take care of itself.
He crosses his arms.
When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What the hell is that?
Was
angry tentacle pornography. Oh God, just the sorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Your sorrow is anchored to those reflections. It's devouring their power. We have to get rid of them. Destroy its anchors, or else the sorrow will erase us forever.
Crisis initiated. Kill the reflections anchoring the sorrow of your mind. You get an action, you get a movement.
Hey, reflection near you, kill it. You loosen the sorrow's anchor.
Alright. So we've got our spells. It'll cost though, but that's fine. We got our radius here. Oh, effort can be applied to attack. Okay, yeah. Let's go with a 90% chance to hit. Yeah, damn right. Okay, so we've used our action. We can still move. Let's just take a little step forward. The sorrow's turn.
What in the... It's escaping. It's going to hide inside your mind.
No, my goodness.
Now run. Get to the next one.
Oh, I will. You can sacrifice your action to double move. Nah. That's like Dungeons and Dragons right there. Mental damage, bitch. Increasing damage. Yeah. Let's go with another 90% chance to hit. We don't want to risk it. And you might as well take a step forward. Okay, so it debuffed.
Oh, what is it doing now? It's infecting it somehow.
So yeah, status effects. All right, we could have picked that move that got rid of it, but we didn't because we're dumb. Maybe we're smart. I don't know. We gained 40 XP, and we partially defeated the sorrow in our mind.
Oh, you pried it loose. That thing's a cancer. An infection. It's unstoppable. But you stopped it. That doesn't make sense.
He holds his head in his hands.
I can't believe it found us in here.
He looks at you, terror in his eyes.
That thing, the sorrow, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It'll keep hunting you until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember until I saw it. But that's why the chamber's so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it's too late. The portal to your body's shimmering dome there. Go now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
See you later, Specter Man. Oh, it'll show us what we can interact with, huh? That's cool. I don't know what button that is. Yeah, no clue.
Where did she fall from? Her body's smashed to talk. It's a wonder she's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not her origin point.
She's drinking on the job.
She's healing
All I saw is this corona lug.
Spontaneous regeneration.
Will you look at... Wait, I know that face. Blah! Aeljern? Ugh. What was that? What did you do, Calastige? His tone has become accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is a man's kaleidoscope of tattoos writhing across his forearms. He wears a long dark coat belted at the waist, supplies filling his pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? She emitted an internal psychological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Aeljern. Your voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to the stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remains constant through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Calastige. His voice is grim and clipped, and he sees you looking at him. Oh, you're no ordinary mortal. We know that much. Start talking. His face is hard, just like his dick, eye, and set. You scan his thoughts. Oh, so this is that thing we picked. We can see his stuff. She's a changing god. Calastige is deliberately blinding herself, but why? That's kind of cool that we can read his thoughts. Who are you? Dominant tides have shifted. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like good points versus evil points. I don't know. If you don't remember who I am, you're more self-centered than I even imagined. You know she's not the changing god, Aeljern. We scanned her thoughts. Aeljern's being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him? It's her face. I don't like it. I've never seen any of the people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. You're familiar with the word changing, Aeljern? It implies inconsistency. Thus the changing god may well have changed. Several visions of her shrug, and she addresses you. Yeah, she's kind of weird shifting. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you're newly born. Her most solid self curtsies, while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Calastige. This is Aeljern. We are explorers, knowledge seekers, and how we came to be in this room. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you were what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there something that can? An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical. Of her growth. If that's the case, you were unable to survive most... Wait, if that's the case, you'd be able to survive most varieties of physic or molecular decomposition. Decomposition. Disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. Blah! Ashy speaks of his charges from your mind. It's not yours, exactly. Somehow you know this is the memory of the changing gods. You're in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about parties? I can't withstand the sorrow's attacks, says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. This thing is no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up the image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the sorrow's hunts once and for all. We need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Callistige is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks like the specter had described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome with mechanical arms arrayed around it in the metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered. The sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to. I think she gets the points, Callistige. Do either of you know how to fix that crystal chamber here?
Making a note.
Got a quest. Algern chuckles. Then firm and certain, he says. Not likely, though it might not be impossible. You need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Her distaste is evident. Her taste is evident in the expression of her echoes. Although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn? Where's your judgment, Algern? I would take her to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth, you mad? They would sooner take us apart. Thanks for your help. I'll figure this out on my own. Hold on, I'll come with you. Wouldn't want you getting lost, would we? Suspicious as always, Algern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it's full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safety where you need to be. Safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her faces. You scan her thoughts. I shudder to think what Algern might do with the child. Alright then, let's go. Getting your first companions, they'll follow you, they'll help you during combat, so we can get companions, that's cool. Take advantage of their unique abilities and skills, gotcha. Explore your surroundings, do stuff, be a man, don't suck.
Yes.
Sunlight falls through the ragged holes in the roof into the shattered resonance chamber. It is hard to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It's hard to believe that you're still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device, above the cracked semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Let's examine the suspended arms. Cables run from the machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles, aimed at the cracked coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like flickers dimly at the base of the arms. Okay, so this skill thing that we have, the Amnesis, a memory steals over you and it isn't yours. Sunlight falls through the unbroken dome, casting short, angular shadows behind the servitors laboring to construct the device you and your assistant have designed. Their efficiency is perfect after all, and you designed them as well. The components are nearly in place, a ring for bounding, a platform for focusing, and 5 injectors, 1 for each tide. It's a moment before you realize the memory has faded, and you've spoken aloud. Let's inspect the metal ring. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring. And now that you're paying attention, you note that the breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside a glass dome. Then you step outside of the ring. The feeling passes. You examine the shards on the ground. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with synth in the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter, in the light like captive suns. Let's pick up one of the crystal shards. Item gained crystalline shard. It's a light melee weapon. Take a closer look at the sarcophagus. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it or get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the end of the arms above. Seems likely the chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Alright, let's step away from the device. What else we got? We've got flexible tubes attached to the machine appeared in later conditions. Someone cobbled the device together, but this function is still unclear.
All right.
We got some sort of console? The slate black, unimpressive device hunkers before you as you reach out and touch it. Triangle of light on it. Casing causes blazing, blah, 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 casing blazes into life, and the image unfolds in your mind. The towering crystal arch rises over a jagged gray landscape, and the air is dead and stifling. And there, at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular arrays of light.
Command me.
The device with the intelligence within it says, each word carefully etched with distaste. What was that art you showed me? Your command was not understood. The intelligence chuckles, its light pulsing. Command me. Who are you? Your command was not understood. The intelligence says with a clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question but is choosing not to answer. Command me. What commands do you recognize? Three lights throb. Irritably. Heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands races through your mind, far too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence chortles. Command me, it says smugly. Examine the outside of the device. An indignant hum rises from the intelligence engines as you examine its ancient casing. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. You step back, and the hum fades away. Show me that list of commands again, slower, please. If anything, the command list pours through your mind even faster than the last time. Command me. The intelligence drawls. Let's kick it as hard as we can. You select a companion's portrait in the effort window. They can assist. Okay. I see. So do they have like a better chance? They do. She has a base of 60. He has a base of 75. We can get a 95 for 2 points. Do it! The intelligence light flutters in alarm just before your foot smashes into the base of the device. Something within goes crunch. Cell gating damaged. It gasps, the trio of light focusing on you with a blinding intensity. All prisoners lost. Shutting Lugambo. The hatch springs open near the dent left by your foot, and the light flickers off as you claim a hissing component from the device's smoking interior. You gained a view shard. Are you planning on breaking every machine in here?
Go.
Let's look at our inventory. What do we got? We got stuff. Equipment, okay. Backpack, gotcha. Quest items, gotcha. Cipher limits and ciphers. Yeah, okay. Oh, we already equipped the weapon that we picked up, that weird shard. With this view shard. Shard glass displays the image of three strangely garbled. Let's look at it. Three strangely garbled children in a field. A sequence of them playing a simple ball game repeats itself. After repeated viewings, you notice a child standing further away in the field. This fourth child looking directly at you, her large eyes brim with fear. Why would I want to discard the item, you son of a bitch? Can we equip it anywhere? I don't think so. What's he got? Look at how badass he looks. Jesus. Dude, he looks freaking dope. He's got a two-handed weapon? She's got a gun? A buzzer? I don't even know what that is. Is that a gun? Dude, what a badass. Dude, he has no intelligence. What a boob. Living tats. Oh my god, the things that people have is ridiculous. Alright, let's go outside. So as you can see, this is very much a choose your own adventure. There's probably all kinds of other things you could have had happen during those scenarios. Lots more information you could have read as well. More skill checks of different kinds, I'm sure. Maybe some more might checks, some speed checks. I don't know. All depends on what you choose to say and
I need
do.
to talk to you.
Oh.
This is the reef of fallen worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell, well, we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Why are you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't, he growls. Don't be so paranoid. But when she isn't looking, he raises his eyebrows at you, knowingly. What makes the reef so dangerous? Numenera of the past are always dangerous. There are other dangers too, some closer than others. His thoughts say, I hate to think what Calstige might do to her if I weren't here. What are the Numenera? You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numenera are all around you. Everything left over from the prior worlds. Such as Cliffs thrives by trading artifacts from the ancient civilizations. Hells, you can't scoop a handful of earth without finding drit. Drit, huh? From prior worlds mixed within it. Numenera is anything from the prior worlds. But mostly, we mean the stuff of value. To us, a lot of Numereas are just oddities, fancy trinkets with little real use. But sometimes you get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer. Though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times. He frowns. Not that that's ever happened to me. Now, of course, I've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases, it doesn't really matter. Like you might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chariot, but who the hell knows enough to build the rest of it. Better to make use of it as a weapon or a power source. He scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we knew the 10th of the secrets of the ancients. Most days it's a challenge just to survive. What do you think we should do next? If you want to fix that crystal chamber back there, yeah. First step is getting out of this reef. Alright, well let's keep going, alright? About time.
On my way.
What is this? They're cute. Two floating cones whirl and spin deliriously around each other, giggling like children being tickled. The air around you smells of sweet burning leaves. You watch them for patterns. Oh, we gained XP! The longer you stare at these artifacts, the more you're convinced that they turn faster when they're spiraling paths across each other. Our mystical lore tells us more. Their edges seem to be tracing faint glow lines that twine around each other, resembling a rope fastening to some invisible point beyond this time and place. What are you? The cones continue whirling and laughing like enraptured dancers, giving no sign that they have heard you. Quick fingers touch a cone as it passes. We got like a base of 90%. That's pretty good. Yeah, 90% is good enough. Ha ha! More XP. You manage to graze one of them with the tip of your fingers. Rorn, a voice says, and your vision is stolen from you. A moon hangs over you, but it's not the one you recognize. It's black, and in a pearl-white sky. Thick, flat asteroids orbit hidden like petals in the wind. You feel questing tendrils at your ankles, and the hot wind in your face smells of scorched hair and grief. Your vision returns. The cones hang motionless for a second before resuming their giggling dance. What are you for? Cones greet your question with a split second of hushed silence, followed by delighting peals of helpless giggling. They aren't for anything. They're from one of the worlds before this one. Algernon rubs a hand along his stubbled jaw. Sometimes in Numenera will do something useful. Sometimes they'll turn you inside out. And sometimes they don't do a damn thing that makes sense. I have often said the same thing about you, darling, Castige murmurs. You try speaking to the cones again. Childlike laughter is their only response. You leave the cones alone.
You got it.
What are we interacting with? A tangled cluster of metallic tendrils grow from the depths of the nearby water. Strangely, they resemble clawed alien hands, most of which have 7 or 8 fingers. You examine the cluster. The hands sway softly, but their movements are difficult to follow. Watching them for too long makes you feel nauseous. Apart from the hands themselves, you don't notice anything of interest to the cluster. Let's break off one of the hands. You grip the hand nearest to you and snap it from its roots. Stepping back, you give it a couple experimental swings. Good balance might make a decent weapon. Gained 8-fingered mace. You aren't happy unless you're breaking things, are you? You try to break another one off. Eventually grasping at the tendrils. Okay, you can't do it. You walk away. So where is this thing? It's 4 physical damage, 3 chemical damage. Can we give it to this guy? What was his weapon? 4 physical.
Ready to test this out.
Whatever, sure. I mean, it seems like it's better.
Yes, child.
Yes, child. Let's go up here. This place is cool. It's got like fog of war. What is this? Although the cube hovers in the air, you can feel the ground shudder with its vibrations. Long cable extends from the spout, but its points where it dips into the water has been snapped in half.
Naturally.
What is this? Let's touch it with our anuses. There's a shallow depression on the surface here, like many others scattered around the construct. Unlike the others, energy still pulses across this one at random intervals. A slight yet implacable sense of unease emanates from each wave of energy. There's a loose lens at the center of the depression. You think you could redirect the psychic effect somewhere more useful, but it'll be tricky to get in between the energy pulses without any antagonists to aim it towards. The device doesn't serve any obvious purpose. Oh. Alright. Cable, what is this?
Yes, now.
Uh-oh. That sounds like combat music. Does that guy got a tail? No, his armor. See if we can talk our way out of this one. Koro. As you step into what looks like the back of an enormous construct, 4 strangers approach you. In the lead is a wiry man with parallel scars running from cheek to collarbone on the left side of his face. He gives you a welcoming smile, pulling on gray gloves embedded with pulsing lights. He's about to say something when you notice Castige. When he notices Castige. She's the star who came out of it. But what does Cal have to do with this? Cal! I thought you'd sworn off trawling the reef. Found anything tasty? His eyes travel up and down both of you and Algernon. Odds and ends, Koro. Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Her words are calm, but she has gone quite still. What is he doing here? He has something up his sleeve, I know it. Excuse me. Let Goro and Kalsich talk. His hands curl into fists along his sides. I was just wondering specifically if you had seen a falling star that landed near here not long ago. I have seen nothing of the sort, dear Goro. Her lips close thinly. What about your friends? He turns to you. I know most of the daft and scavengers, the reef these days. It's a rare pleasure to see a new face. Oh. Where did this star land? Well, if I knew that, I would be reduced to harassing noble travelers. I never saw it. You see, my employer did. And thought, who's the most trustworthy team I can send at a moment's notice? He winks. Luckily, they were on another assignment. And we were interested and weren't too drunk yet, so... What interests you about this star? How kind of you to ask. Goro says, clapping his gloved hands together. So few people are interested in the tangled motivations of paid explorers. He spreads his arms, as if holding the sky, and continues. The world is littered with ruins and fascinating secrets. Trouble is, anyone can claim them. But when something falls from the sky, that's rarer, and the man can make his name off such a find. He pauses, then adds, we're also being paid quite handsomely. That helps. Enough chat, I think, he says, and there's no humor in his smile now. Where's the falling star? Let's try to lie. I'll be honest with you. I saw the star. I don't know where it landed. Ooh. So we all have about the same. Let's try to get a hundo. Goro studies you for a long moment before sighing. All right, he says. Well, do let us know if you spot anything of interest. I like to say we pay for the privilege, but if we were rich, we wouldn't be down here, would we? She's not telling the truth. She's a fantastic liar. Guess I was wrong. Nice! We talked our way out of it. Probably could have had a fight there. Nice thinking, kid. That would have been a fiasco. You figured out why they were here, right? I knew I couldn't trust Kalstige. This is the last time I make that mistake. You think Kalstige told them about? That would let him know I could read his thoughts. They were ambushing anyone who walked by? Sure, kid. You see them ambushing anyone else? They were waiting for us and no one else. Somebody sold us out. He points discreetly at Kalstige. Excuse me? Are you suggesting I had something to do with Goro's plans? Oh, cannot abide his rabid paranoia a moment longer. Are you suggesting you didn't? An old friend of yours just happens to be waiting for us, armed and outnumbering us, as we return from the greatest find of the reef has seen in years? It's too convenient for me. Too convenient by far. Of all the idiotic paranoid delusions, you really believe this, don't you? You really believe I'd use a half-wit like Goro to stab you in the back, rather than do it myself? You see, kid? She'll stab you in the back first chance she gets. Most likely in your sleep. He throws up his hands, forestalling Kalstige's retort. Look, I don't care. Fact is, I can't trust you anymore. And I wonder why I ever did. This is the last time we traveled together. I've got enough to worry about without having to watch my back 28 hours a day. He turns to you. You coming, kid? Or what? Algern, I really don't think she was trying to betray us. He snorts with bitter laughter. I do. You haven't seen 1/10 of her depths. Not 1/20th. She's a backstabbing bitch, mark my words. You were insufferable to the end, Algern. Looking for the worst in a situation is the only way you know to see. You know how long I've carried your pain for you? How much I've had to turn away from your judgmental stares? But you're right, I've had enough. She turns to you. Child, I'm happy to guide you, but I will not walk another step with this paranoid buffoon. Finally, something we agreed on, he growls. Kid, she'll chop off your head and spit down your throat. I'll get you where you need to go. I'll let you sleep at night to boot. It's up to you. Why can't I travel with both of you? Can't you just work it out? She bursts out laughing. My dear girl, we have been working it out. Algern's petulance, his obstinacy in the face of fact, drives me away every day. He might be strong, but he's also thick. I dare you to try traveling with him and see how long you endure. Not as long as I have, I'll wager. His face darkens under their accusations, but he manages to pain smile. As if you're doing me a favor by staying with me. Do you think I don't see your true self, all these echoes around you? In all those? That's you, Calstige. Every facet of it. Your vivisectionist hearts have changed, just the way you present it. I thought I could help you, but... Well, I'm like a mage person, and so is she, I think. She's got high intelligence, so I kind of want a melee dude, and then me being... So I guess I'll go with Algern.
As you wish. Should you change your mind, I'll be in the order of truth. But don't bring the complainer. A farewell to you, child, and best of luck. You'll need it.
And good riddance. Jester towards the stair. Come on. Whatever answers exist are up there. We'll find what you're looking for. Both of us are looking for. Now that you've dealt with Koro and his goons, you can continue on to the city of Stella's Cliffs. Reach the city, cross the bridge to the north, end of the platform. Hells yeah.
Now.
And we'll leave the area. The blue tide represents wisdom, enlightenment, and mysticism. It is the tide of people whose goal is to expand the mind and the spirit. I have no idea what any of those words mean. Probably getting to the point where I should end the episode. I was caught up in the story. This load seems to be a little on the long side. This is also not fully out yet. It's some form of early access. I don't know how much or how far the story goes. I just was going to take a look at it and see what kind of game it was. It only came into early access recently, like maybe a week ago. We gained some XP. Let's get you to the Cult of the Changing God there, encamped by the clock in the Great Square here. Oh.
Done.
Stuff going on over here. Oh, God. Oh, my God. What the hell is that?
I'm going.
Dude. You inch closer to the lattice of the energy that holds the creature. As you lean in, the ugly glaive with the sledgehammer slung over his shoulder shouts at you.
No, no gawking for free. Hey, El Gentado, get gone.
He glowers at you, hands reaching for the heft of his hammer until you step away from the cage.
I'll be damned if I let someone steal from us.
Let's go.
As you approach, the glaive whistles and his partner looks over and shakes his head minutely. Xanadu growls under his breath until you step away again. Oh. Well, fine, let's freaking pay to talk. Or look.
This large, broad-shouldered man turns to face you, you freeze. It's not his dark cloak or the sledgehammer. It's that beneath his mustache and goatee. He's so ugly that he scares own mother in a dark alley. He gives you an abrupt nod and you get the distinct impression that stands a man. Here stands a man who enjoys the boredom of standing guard in the company of his own thoughts. Slow day, good, nothing wrong with a slow day. Nothing to see here till you play old Gentile, he says when it's clear that you aren't moving. That is to turn gaze and stare starved.
I don't know what happened with that. Where's Ogento? There you are. I'm gonna give you some cash. I want to see the creature close up, please. Curiosity does you credit, friend. It'll cost you 25 shins. I don't have any money. Well, rip. Alright, well, looks like that's probably a quest.
I'm ready.
Got a huge town to explore.
Fine.
Just taking a peek around. We got all kinds of weird stuff.
Ready.
She hides in the corner, hides in this... What? People are just talking to themselves? There's probably 1,000 quests. I mean, this is obviously a quest. That thing, I don't know what it is, but it's probably a quest. What the? They have a dude all tied up.
Yes.
Look at this rock I found. That kid is real happy about a friggin' rock. Broken dreams for sale.
Yes.
Tolmegur.
Ready.
We're just filling in this map. Is there an M for map? There totally is. Holy ballsack. Execution ground, cultist encampment.
Yes.
Just filling this map. Let's see this little starter town. Alright, there's an edge there. I like this like fog of war that we're filling in. That guy's like praising the sun.
Ready.
Praise the sun! I think he's just soaking in the sun, you know what I'm saying? He's just like, oh, get that delicious vitamin C or D or whichever one the sun gives you.
All right.
Vitamin DC Comics.
Of course.
Oh. Oh, it took over.
What fortune, what joy!
I'm going.
Oh, it was the cultist of the, that was one of the places we were gonna go, I think. What is this?
All right.
It's like a weird eyeball cloak.
Here we go then.
Oh, okay. Well, there's our look at the town. Looks pretty ballin'. I'm going to, is this health? It is. Going to end the episode here.
Yes.
I'll thank you guys for watching. This has, been our first look impressions of Tides of Numenera. Looks pretty ballin'. Looks like a pretty good choose your own adventure-ish RPG. Got a weird, maybe Pillar of Eternity vibe? Maybe it's just built on that engine. I think it is, actually. Some of the character-y stuff kind of looks like that. Architecture. Yeah. Alright, well. You know the drill. If
On my
you
way.
enjoyed the episode, you know, like, subscribe, comment,
All right.
whatever. Dislike it if you, you know, feel the need to. I don't give a fudge salad. And, yeah. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.